gentlemen, and my 0.0001% woman viewership, we're here today to look at a bunch of little small amplifiers. This is our number 7, 8, and 9. These were sent up by my good personal friend, Mr. Gascap. I enjoy getting to work on stuff for people that I know. I enjoy it. Me personally, I really enjoy it. I've been to this guy's house. I've hung out with him. We broke bread. He's a good cat. Actually, I got one of his amplifiers here that's been meticulously restored. It is vacuum packed, double pallet, expansion wrap, plastic, still sitting here waiting for him. He's moved. This gentleman moved. But it's his turn on the workbench, and I said, well, he's like, well, I don't know if I'm ready to do them or not. I'm like, dude, let's just take a look at them. Let's just take a look at what you got going on. It's not like I'm going to charge you an arm and a leg just to look at them. I don't charge anything for that. This is a gold labeled Palomar Elite 450. Automatic sideband, class AB1. Shoot. A little quick, undersized. Man, really? Oh, boy, I hope he never tried to hook this up. Anyhow, this is a good dude. I enjoy getting to work on stuff for my friends. Let's zoom in here. Let's prop this up. Just got off the phone with him, and I hadn't opened these or looked at them yet. So, anybody see what I see? This is to do with these wires, by the way. This is our positive bus. And even that is soldered over and it's touching the board here on the ground side. Right there. So this is, the black wire is positive apparently, and the red wire is ground. There's another little problem that I see right out the hop going forward, is this here. This blob of solder. That is all of the, see, we've got it written here, red line negative, black line positive. Written right here on the back. Anyhow, this is the antenna. This is our antenna connection. And it is shorted over with a schnob schnotter. So he knew these were backwards. Well, I say that I have a soldering iron. And I say that I'm not smart enough to remember that red's not hot and black's hot. Let's just say that I'm a slower functioning individual, that I can't handle those kind of thoughts, right? I'm going to flip-flop these leads around. At least make it somewhat electrically correct. Hopefully this has never been hooked up. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to pull this shorted out ball of snot. Shorted out ball of snot. We'll get that pulled out of there, and let's see if this works. All my lights on out here. Okay, so we flip-flop the positive and negative wires. So now red is hot and black is ground. And this is it's got a big ass protection diode in it. So the diode didn't blow. That's a good sign. Power light comes on, preamp light comes on. That don't mean shit. All right. So look at this. This little piece of solder could not be more perfectly formed. Like a hate-free, angry little man sausage. Look at that. So, okay. Saved that out of there for you guys to look at. Turn this on. Oh. Fancy dancer, man. The preamp works on it. Okay. Well, let's go look at it the other way around. Let's shut the amp off. We'll put about 18, 19 watts into it. We'll talk through it, no problem. Hello. Oh, it's working. Look at that. Hello. Medium. Hello. Low. And high. Hello. 1, 2, 1, 2. So, okay, we have a working specimen of the Palomar Elite High Drive 450s. We're on 12 volts. Here's my biggest qualm I ever had with these Palomars. Way back when I was like 15, 16 years old, I was working at the CB shop. And I got my hands on a Palomar Elite 600. It was 1 drive and 4, right? And even then, I knew that this little ferrite rod and this little ferrite rod wasn't enough shmoo candy to get the thing going right. Physically, I didn't have a FLIR at that time, but I could physically feel these rods heating up when the amplifier would be running. So I'm going to add 2 pieces of ferrite with a little bit of a power wire upgrade to these. We're going to tighten down all the screws to it, and we're going to set this aside. But let's look at this first. Let's do this first. Hello. Making 375 watts. We're on 12 volts. Let's go look at our input tune. Hello. That's on high, by the way, yo. So, not the greatest input tune in the world. You all understand that these are what they used to call truck stop amplifiers, right? The whole goal behind these was to make them so cheap that every truck stop in the USA could afford to sell these, right? And when they broke, nobody even actually specialized in repairing them. We just chucked them, right? Well, I started fixing them because I realized there was a little bit of money in them by the time I'd come around. I remember, I can't remember if it was with CB Distributing or with Ramco or who it was with. The guy that owned the CB shop I was working at when I was a kid, I just leased a spot from him, by the way. He'd call him a fun bag. He had $800 worth of rollover stock. So he would, twice a month, order $800 worth of Palomar amps from whoever he was getting them from. And they would show up, I'd do my little thing to them, I'd get on the phone, I'd sell them to everybody, right? So I was a kid, like trying to figure out why I had hair around my dingus kid. I'd call people, man, I heard you were looking for an amp, dude, we got amps up here. And, like used car salesman, man. I was hustling, right? And he'd take that $800, throw it back in the register for 2 weeks later, and then go gamble the rest of the money away. So, I mean, it was what it was. It was a fun way to grow from 17 to 18 to almost 19 years old. You know, it kind of screwed me up because I thought everybody in high school was making hundreds of dollars a day of non-reportable cash, right? Whew. I had a rude awakening when I got my first job at $5.75 an hour. Let's see if it picked up anything. Hello, audio. About 10 watts. Hello, audio. No problem. All right. Helped it out a little. All right, let's turn the voltage up to about 14.5. Let's see what it does now. I have 500, no problem. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. So, these things are notoriously bad on the input. But let's just say that over the years, maybe, just maybe, I've learned a trick or two. So let's twiddly fart around with the input and see if we can get that to come down universally across the band. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. That's on high. Here's medium. Hello. Here's low. Hello, 1, 2. It just takes a little bit of knowledge about where to put the cap and where to take the turn out. You literally take one turn and you add a cap. And then as your end result, you get almost 600 watts. Hello. It's a hair over 5. And that's feeding it with whatever pitch you want to throw in it. 25, 30 watts. So, long story short, my friend, this amplifier works fine. All the systems in it check out. It's good to go. So, this is RO number 7. Now, let's see what's in the mystery pile. I bet you it's another Palomar, or Palomar-ish. $450. As far as this being high drive, 45 watts maybe. Okay, so here we are, RO number 8. Watch a tube here. It's a Palomar 223. Never seen one like this before. Palomar's Palomar, but it's got two 2290s in it. It's been repilled at some point in its life. The 10 ohmers look okay. I'm questioning this relay, but I don't see anything that's going to make me too scared to hook it up. Once again, no backer plate. So let's hook it up. I can't talk through the amp. Wrong frickin' tool. Doesn't surprise me when the covers get taken off on this. Cigarette smoke and dust and, you know, I know my friend doesn't smoke. At least I didn't see him smoke when I was in his presence any time, but come on, man. It was the 80s and the 90s. Everybody smoked. That's what we did. God, boy, how did I love to smoke. I loved it. I got so bad I'd wake up in the middle of the night sometimes to go have a cigarette. I loved it. Oh my God. I didn't give a shit. Man, my hands would turn orange and I didn't give a shit. Okay, let's see if we can talk through this thing now. Hello, 1, 2, much better. All right. Here's our pass-through tune now. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Not the greatest in the world, but what do we expect? Now I can almost assume that the preamp relays are going to be just as effed off. Oh, hey, we got relay motion. I remember watching this big debate on YouTube between the experts. And please note, I'm not an expert in shit, okay? And even at that, when I do that bodily function, it's kind of hit or miss. What it was a guy had a Palomar, and it was a Texas Star 350. He didn't have Palomar, pardon me. It was Texas Star 350. And he puts a video up where he's pushing a power. It's just the way they wired things back then. It's an off. It just happens. Well, I made my little comment. I said, well, it just happens as part of the natural progression. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's see if we stay working on this take. This is a Galaxy 225, I do believe. Yeah. Otherwise Palomar. It is the same exact design, just modernized on the inside. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It's the same exact design as a Palomar. Same company, same extruded heat shrink, same. Now, it might not be the same company, but the same guys were involved. If that makes any sense. Anyhow, where we are today, and this is the second time I've had to film this segment because, well, the microphone died. I finally said piss on it, I'm going to bed. Everything on this amplifier works, except it's extremely dirty. Preamp is working fine. So let's run this down to low. Hello, 1, 2. Low. Medium. Hello. And high. Hello, audio, 1, 2. And we're all the way down on 12 volts at the moment. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. input tune and pass-through tune are not entirely teabag. They're not. But what I need to do now is I need to call the customer and say, hey man, all your shit work, man. What do you want to do, man? Hopefully he does not use the term, I want to sell it. Sell it for me, BBI. Make it go on to a new home. Because then what I've got to do is I got to spend the whole rest of this day cleaning these last two amplifiers. And then I got to go cut lids for the bottom. But let's see what he has to say. I'll be right back. We might be wrapping this up, but this show might be going on. Well, gentlemen, we're here at the end. I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys. I want to thank you for making it possible that I'm one of the few YouTubers on earth that doesn't need to have 15 freaking ads in a 10-minute video. Let's give them thanks. So I called the customer. He said all he needed to do was have new power wires added up to him, and he was perfectly happy. So ROs number 7, 8, and 9 are done. Just like that. So we're gonna get them sent out of here. Got a bunch more coming, you guys. We're on to whatever is the next lowest RO number I can find. I'm gonna bang on through these until I can say, hey, whoopee, I'm free. I've got everything from 32 pills all the way down to Palomar 300 that we're gonna go through. And these little amps like this. Lots and lots and lots of Texas Star stuff. Like an absurd amount. So, gentlemen, I'm gonna run. I wanna say thanks to Penta XS Siglant, MechMan, Bird Coaxial Dynamics. Big shout out to all of you. And if you guys have any questions or anything I can ever do to help you, don't hesitate to call. That's one of the things that Patreons allows me to do, is they allow me to support the hours per day that I spend on the phone answering questions. So if there's anything I can do to help you out, don't hesitate to give me a call. Gentlemen, I am BBI. On to the next one. I'll see you. Click, click.